Hi everyone and welcome to another video by Platinum Partner. Today we're going to have a look at the My Task function of ASANA and especially the new functionalities that have been recently added, which are the board view and the automation there. Now, to start with, we're going to have a look at what is the My ASANA page and function, how we should think about it and how we should use it and how it can best use our business. We're then going to have a look at the latest release, but also all the functions available for us in the My Task page. And finally, we'll have a look at how we can or should configure it for the best results. Now, jumping into our ASANA page, as you can see, I am on my ASANA instances. Here is my home page. And on the left-hand side, I have my task. So before I jump into explaining everything we're doing here, the very first thing I'd like to say is we need to remember what is ASANA. And so ASANA is not only a project management tool, it is a work management platform. As such, it is going to help us to manage our project through templates, timelines, board views, etc. But it will also and especially help us to manage all our work on a daily basis. As a result, we're not going to have just the tasks that are assigned to project. We also have ongoing tasks and ongoing work that will be assigned to us through online forms or others. And we're also going to have our tasks that we create as reminders for us to do. So if we are in that configuration, and imagine you have 4 or 5 projects running at the same time, plus some feedback from your customers, plus some ongoing request for some ongoing work, plus your My Task for what you need to get done today, it becomes a bit difficult to just jump onto a project and to see what you need to get done. Obviously, there is no project. For that, you would have to go project by project. The other issue is that we do without the My Task, we're going to end up with a list of tasks that have been assigned to you that we've missed out. So it's very important to, if you are an administrator or power user of ASANA, or if you have a project manager deploying, it's very important to make sure that the My Task page is used properly. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a lot of tasks not updated in the system, and when the system is not updated, you quickly lose traction on your ASANA deployment. So the My Task from ASANA is really here as the first place you should go when you start your day, really. That's where I'm going to go to see what task I need to start taking care of. And if we maintain this properly, that means that most of the users will probably just go to My Task instead of going to the project, see what they have to do, jump on the task, and get it done. If we don't, again, we're going to end up with a mismatch of tasks and lots of unfinished work everywhere. Now, that is for the presentation of what My Task is. And My Task is a web page that we can access from the left-hand side here. There are essentially 4 tabs on top. So we have the list view we're looking at right now, the board view that was added recently, the calendar view, which was here for a while and shows us our tasks when they are due on the calendar, which is pretty useful. And then files, where we see all the files across all our tasks. So a little bit like a project, really. You can see the interface is not different to a project. There are less tabs on top, but essentially that works very much like a project. The difference, though, is that all your tasks listed here are part of many different projects. And so we're going to lose some functionalities just because, we don't know which project. It's not we don't know, there's many projects used for all those tasks. So the first thing is that on your list view, you will have the ability to view all your tasks. You can also create sections. That's great, and add milestones, which you can add at any point in time. You also see your fields here, as you would see on a normal project. You can also customize your fields, but you can see I am not able to add new fields. And simply because if I was, well, on which project would that be added? We also have the ability to create rules, which we're going to see in a few minutes. We can filter our task to see only the completed one or the incompleted one. We can sort them out, and that's about all we have on this page. Now, if we go to the board view, we have the same sorts of information. We have the ability to filter them. By default, they're normally showing you only the incompleted task, which makes sense on My Task, because you want to see what you haven't done, not what you've already done. We also can sort them out, and we also can, so I can say by due date. and that we then put them here in the right order. Now, I click on due date again. No, not changing. Now we also have the ability to customize again. So same thing, fields, none of the custom fields, and rules. On the calendar view, so we are a bit more limited. We can only show the task we can't filter, but we will see the tasks that are completed as they grade, and there's a little green tick in front of it. And we can order them because essentially they're ordered within your day by the timeline. Finally, we have the files, and on the files view, we have the ability to see all the files across all our tasks. So quite a few things here, and that's a little bit like in your project, a nice place to find all the information about all your tasks. All right, so in the latest release, we've been added the board view, and the board view is going to come up very handy. So jumping into how we would recommend or how we would consider configuring my task view, well, I would start by saying you need to think about what you want from your My Task View. And generally, that's true with any software, and especially ASANA, before you start configuring, jumping in, creating rules, sections, projects, etc. Let's stop for a second and think about what we want to do with My Tasks. So as mentioned, My Task is really here to help you at the beginning of the day. You want your staff, your people, or yourself, when they start their day or when you start your day, to come into a place where you can find quickly and have access to the most important things you want to do. The idea is, with ASANA, we always try to go faster to work and less time to organizing the work. So I have here set up my task as if I was receiving work, and I need to take care of it. I'm not an approver here. I'm not a manager here. I am a normal person using ASANA, which there will be some style difference between a manager and a user, but still. So what have I done? Well, I thought that the very first thing, let me stay on the board view, the very first thing that I need to take care of is I need to have a look at the tasks that have no due dates. Because obviously, if they have no due dates, I don't know what priority to put on it, and I need to have a look at that and make sure that they move forward well enough. So this one should be late, by the way, should be late, and should be late, and this one should be on today. All right, so I have all these tasks here that have not received a due date, and the very first thing I need to do is have a look at it. This person has left the organization. Do I want to delegate? Well, no, that's an automated system-generated task, so no, I don't want to take care of that. But then here I have to change the text. Here I have also to change text on some brochure, so this I may want to start setting up a date. And say, for example, that I set it up for today. Well, what I want to do then is once it's been set up, I want it to move to the today section. Otherwise, it's not going to be organized. The second thing I want to do is I want to have something that actually shows me the tasks that are late on, because those ones are the first one I need to address. And so what I've done is I've created a late section that shows me all the late tasks that are late to be actioned. Then I want to have a look at what comes today, because once I've taken care of what I needed to clean, when I looked at what I've missed, then what I want to do is look at what I want to do today, what I should be doing. And then if I was on top of all that, which is not the case in that example, then I want to be able to have a look at what's coming next, so I can prepare for it. And then I have a backlog here of things that needs to be done in the future. Finally, I've created a completed column, so that when I have completed my job, they all come here, and we are able to see them if we want to see what's completed. By default, it shows only the incomplete task, so this should be always empty. But if I say all tasks, I'll be able here to see all the completed tasks, which might come handy at some point. Who knows? All right, so I've got all my tasks here. Again, you can set it up a different way. This is just an example, but the core is make sure that this is efficient for you. When you start your day, what do you want to start with? If you were a manager, you might have a list of approval that are waiting for you. That might come first before everything, because it will block your team if you haven't approved the job. If you are an external consultant, you may have some other priorities. If you have a boss that is more important than another, then you may want to have columns for that specific boss or that specific customer. All right, So now that we have configured our columns, the next thing we want to do is we want to customize and we want to set up rules. As you've seen here, I've changed the date to today, but I haven't moved to today, so I need to manually do it here. Which is all right, but that means I'm going to have to maintain that. I don't want to maintain things because, again, with ASANA, we want to spend less time organizing and more time doing the job. That's why we're here. So what I can do is I can create some rules. And those rules are going to help me to organize the task in the right columns. So for example, because here my rules will be based only on time, I've created rules that move the task to a sections when an event in time happens. Now, those functionalities, which are the rules, are available in Premium, Business, and Enterprise version. However, if you are only on Premium, you won't be able to build your custom rules, which are going to come pretty handy here. So if I click Add a Rule, you can see I will have access to some rules. Obviously, this is reduced compared to a project because we don't have access to all the integration here. We are, again, in a reduced version of a project. We have access only to the standard fields. But if I have the business version, I can go to create a custom rule. And here I can say things such as, well, when the due date is set and the due date, sorry, up, I stay on the trigger part, and the due date is approaching, due to today, then choose an action, and I want to move that to a section, which is going to be today. And so by creating this rule, I now have a rule that is set up here, and every time I will update a task with a due date, it should move it to today, it should move it to today. I have done the same for others. So here I have the one for today. Here I have the one for 14 days before, so 2 weeks before. It's 2 weeks before, it moves it to the next 2 weeks. 1 day after, so when it's overdue, it moves it to the late section. And then I have one more that is move task to a certain test area completed, move it to the completed section. So that one moves the task to my completed section here. And as you can see, it's pretty easy to set up. Now, I'll just say one thing is that automation in ASANA may take a few seconds. And they may run not exactly as you expect them when you put dates, simply because it's a web page, it's a web design software, and so you need to wait for a sequence to run in the background. But it doesn't matter, you can always update things. Okay, so this one I can say is done. This one was moved immediately. This one is done, this one is done. Get you onboarding for free. Oh, that was a brochure. Oh, that one's done. That one's done. And change the name. I can say, well, let's reschedule that to next Friday. So I've rescheduled it. It's going to take a bit of time, but it's going to run. The reason for that is my action here are going to basically run when we approach the day. So it probably runs on a daily basis, and it's going to update those and move it to the right place. So it doesn't run immediately. Now I've done that, I can have a look at all the tasks that are scheduled and I'm late on, and I can update them and go where I need to be. Well, that's about it in terms of my tasks. So again, list view, board view, calendar view for the one who likes it, and then especially the ability to create columns here in our board view and put some automation, which is really handy. Hope that you enjoyed the show, and look forward to our next video. Thank you.